Hello, hello, hello! What's happening, everybody? MCOC Droid does coming at you with another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. Today, we are here to talk about the new 6-star featured crystal that is coming into the game next week. It'll be available on September the 11th at 10 a.m. When the current featured goes away, the new featured comes into the game, and those current exclusive champions, along with the featured champions, get added into the basic. So, of course, the two big things we were wondering about is whether they were going to follow the same format with the new featured, and if so, who the champions were going to be. And we can now answer that question since Kabam put out this forum post a little bit earlier this afternoon, as you can see about an hour or so ago as of the recording of this video. And sure enough, yes, it is going to follow the exact same format. So that means there will be 6 featured champions. It starts off with Massacre, since Domino was the most recent featured champion in the current featured crystal. So it has Massacre, and then it has Wasp and Ghost, along with Red Skull, Heimdall, and Korg, who were just released into the game this past month. Along with the 6 new featured champions, there are 12 basic champions, and then 6... call them exclusive champions, champs that are already in the game that are not featured but are not currently in the 6-star basic. And that was actually what I tied in with my giveaway guessing game, which we'll talk about in a moment as well, so I can announce the 2 winners there. So let's go over this crystal real fast, and then I can share my thoughts with you. So again, we know the 6 featured. It's the 6 that I just mentioned at the top there. And then the 6 new exclusive champions are going to be Psylocke, Cyclops Blue, Miles Morales, Dormammu, Mephisto, and Phoenix. Since those are not currently available in the game as 6 stars just yet, but they will be in this crystal. And then the 12 basic champions that they selected for this one are Cable, Bishop, Killmonger, Thor Ragnarok, Hulk Ragnarok, Luke Cage, Morningstar, Iron Fist, Hela, Drax, Nebula, and Green Goblin. And then, of course, the standard disclaimer, this is a brand new crystal. So if you buy a current 6-star feature crystal today before it expires, it will not turn into the new featured. So if you are hoping to go for this one instead of the current one that will expire on September the 11th, do not buy it now. Save your shards, wait until you see the new icon in game, the new banner, showing it on the main menu, etc., then you are safe to buy the brand new crystal. My thoughts on this, pretty freaking awesome, to put it mildly. I mean, again, we knew what the 6 featured champions were going to be, Massacre all the way through Korg, just based on the release schedule. And we'll go back to that in a second. Let's first talk about the 12 basic champs, because of course that constitutes half of the champions in this crystal, 12 out of 24. Honestly, this is a better set of basic champions than I ever thought they would put in. I mean, yes, there are only a few really, really great options here. Morningstar, Hela, Nebula is definitely a very underrated champ. Killmonger, of course, is fantastic. And yes, all of those 12, as I said, are already in the basic pool. So you can get them already, or you can awaken them already through that crystal. However, the fact that Iron Fist is arguably the worst of that 12 really says something, considering there are definitely worse options out there that they could have done. I'm looking at you, Deadpool X-Force. So, I mean, he is in the current featured as part of the basic pool, so we knew he wasn't going to be in this next one anyway. But honestly, that is a very solid set of 12 basic champions to really narrow down based on who you currently have in your roster and who you're looking for, especially if you're talking about potentially awakening some of these characters. Again, like I said, we knew what the 6 features were going to be. They're all fairly solid. I know Red Skull has had his ups and downs in terms of people liking him, people not liking him, so he's probably the worst of those 6. Heimdall, of course, would be amazing, especially for the synergies, even though it probably wouldn't scale up at all for the 6-star version. I don't even think I need to say anything about Ghost. A 6-star Ghost would just be fantastic. Ditto Korg, ditto Massacre, Wasp would be great. So it's a pretty solid set of featured champions. I'd say overall it's probably not as good as the current set, which is Corvus, Proxy, Sabretooth, Iron Man Infinity War, Cap Infinity War, and Domino, but it's still a very strong set of 6 right there. So really, it's all about the 6 exclusive champions. And again, that's Psylocke, Cyclops Blue, Miles, Dormammu, Mephisto, and Phoenix. Blue Cyclops, of course, would not be a great one to pull at all, especially for that extra 5,000 shards. Miles was pretty solid. Again, as a 6-star, he's going to be hitting pretty hard already. And again, you don't need to awaken him to get those evade charges. So, not the best pull from this crystal, but wouldn't be terribly disappointing. Psylocke, another underrated champion, so she would definitely not be a bad pull at all from this. Phoenix, I can only imagine her prestige would just be kind of off the charts. So that would be obviously really great for your account, for your alliance. As a champ itself, again, wouldn't really be great. I know I personally would not be excited if I went for this featured and got a Phoenix using those extra 5,000 shards. Yes, she is an exclusive champion right now, but that just means in a few months she'll be added to the basic. So it would be much more worthwhile to pull her from there for only 10,000 shards. But the biggest part of this conversation absolutely has to be the 2 Mystic champions that are added, Dormammu and Mephisto. Yes, both of them truly need to be awakened to be, exceptionally effective, but on their own, unawakened, they are going to be very, very strong. And they are going to really change some people's accounts. Particularly on Alliance War defense. Yes, of course, there is the change that is coming to Mystic Dispersion happening in the next week or so. We're starting to see the new version of it today as 20.0 got released. However, a 6-star Dormammu and especially a 6-star Mephisto would be very, very powerful. I could keep gushing, but honestly, they would be amazing. And then I was just saying this in one of my line chats, but obviously it would take a lot of shards and a lot of luck. But if you were to get a 6-star Dormammu or Mephisto and then awaken that 6-star Dormammu or Mephisto, that would be incredibly deadly. So those are 2 very huge additions to the 6-star lineup as a whole, but especially for this featured crystal. So yeah, overall, my thoughts, this crystal is pretty powerful. There are no outright duds, again, talking about the exclusive champions, Blue Cyclops would probably be the worst pull to get there, with Phoenix right behind him. In terms of the basics, Iron Fist is probably the worst. And he's not a totally bad champion, but he's the worst of those 12. And of course would not be worth the extra 5,000 shards. But, when say Iron Fist, Drax, and Bishop are probably your worst 3 out of 12, that's a pretty good pool, I must say. So overall, while the current 6-star featured may have some flashier champs and better champs, like Iron Man Infinity War, like Cap Infinity War, Corvus, etc., this is probably a better crystal overall, I gotta say, because there's just so many pulls in here that, yes, they do take the extra 5,000 shards, but you would not be unsatisfied to get most of the champions in this crystal. Hopefully. Again, this is just my personal opinion. It is what it is. So, take it with a grain of salt, as always. However, we also need to talk about this giveaway that I did. So, for those who don't recall, I put it up about a week or so ago. It was on the 28th, where I just wanted people to guess. Assuming that this format was going to be exactly the same, who did you think was going to be in this crystal for the exclusive champions? And then as a tiebreaker, I said, of the 12 basic champions, how many of those would be skill? So, again, the answers are Psylocke, Cyclops Blue, Miles, Dormammu, Mephisto, and Phoenix, with 2 skill champions, Killmonger and Thor Ragnarok. I guess I'm happy to say that some guy named Rynot got the most correct. I don't really know if you guys know who that is. Maybe? Kinda? Alright, no, enough's enough. Rynot did get the most. He actually got 3 of them correctly. He got Miles, and he got the 2 Mystic Champions. While he did not get the tiebreaker question. He got the most number of champs correct with 3, and so that pretty darn good right there. So congratulations to you, Rynot. Coming in second place, since there were more than 10 guesses for this, was YouTube user Tim Shen. He did not get the tiebreaker question, but he did get 2 correct guesses. He got Mephisto and Dormammu. So congratulations to Rynot and Tim Shen. Rynot, of course, I can contact pretty directly since he's in my alliance. But Tim Shen, I will be contacting you in game within the next day or so. Rynot, since again there were 2 winners and a total pool of 600 units, Rynot will be getting 400 units worth of items, and Tim, you'll be getting 200 units worth of items. So we can talk about that separately. No need to keep going on it with the video. So congrats to you guys. Thanks to everybody for participating. New 6-star champion featured crystal is coming September the 11th, which is Tuesday. So that'll wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Ring the bell to get notified whenever I go live or new content is added to the channel. And feel free to comment down below. Are you planning on getting this featured crystal? Are you planning on maybe getting the current one before it expires? Or are you just going to keep going for basics? Let me know down below. Always interested to hear people's thoughts and strategies within the game. Aside from that, thanks everybody for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.